Hey everyone, it's Ryan 1940 here, and first off, we are in a Huey, which is incredible. I haven't flown in the Huey on this server, well, even in DCS as a whole, probably for over a year or more. And when I do fly the Huey, I don't do it regularly, so you'll see some weird control inputs and stuff here while I'm still trying to get a feel for what the aircraft's doing. But off in the distance there, you probably notice there's an oil tanker, and further beyond that, there's an oil rig. Now, there's a couple ships out there, and there's another Huey or two that are operating around there trying to destroy some of the shipping. And this is on the split Caucasus map, which normally isn't my favorite, but because they added this, I was really excited to be able to try and attack these ships with troop drops. This is something that was available in the Syria map a long time ago for oil rigs, but it was removed. I think they're going to add it in again in the future, but until then, it was really fun to try it out here. Off to our left, there's some enemy combatant vessels that are kind of off on the horizon, and I was thinking I saw in the chat another helicopter was shot down by some ships, or maybe a MiG that was out there. So I'm constantly watching that direction, but I'm kind of veering to the right off the bow of the ship as I make my approach to drop the Spec Ops guys on board. Now, I'm still getting used to the Huey. I've only done, I think, I don't know, maybe a handful of sorties with it. And so decelerating it and understanding how much it's actually dropping with my collective inputs is still something I'm just getting used to. So I come in a lot lower than I would have liked, but I also didn't want to get too high because I was worried there was a MiG-21 that was flying around. Also, there's an oil rig off in the distance, and I noticed a dot around it, and I'm not sure if that was a Huey at the time. And I was kind of worried that there was a HIP that was operating off of it, because I thought I saw somewhere in the announcements or whatever, and maybe I was mistaken, that there were some sea-base spawning for helicopters. I could just be thinking that out of thin air, and but yeah, that's what I was worried about at the moment, so I kept watching that direction as well. And then ultimately, after we drop our troops, I make the decision to go fly towards that thing and figure out what it is. So here you can see as we approach the ship, I'm trying to stay above the main deck when I come at it, and I can see the landing area really clearly. However, like I said earlier, I wasn't used to how much collective I needed and how much of the drop-off would happen as we decelerated. So we kind of get lower than the main deck, but we recover from that pretty easily and land. And it's quite funny because the left door gunner decides to just shoot at the deck, which really worried me because I thought he was going to, you know, with some of the weird oddities with the DCS damage modeling, I thought that somehow our aircraft would get damaged by that. But the moment we lift off, he stops, and that's great because we need to go fly towards the oil rig now and figure out what aircraft is flying over there, because it's obviously a helicopter, and if we have to drop the special ops guys over there afterwards, we're going to need to figure this helicopter out and put it down if it's enemy. After some time, we get close enough where I could see that it's a Huey that's in front of us, and it's kind of in a gunship format, which is great because now I don't have to worry about my next target. I'm not sure if he dropped Spec Ops or not, so I fly back towards the ship knowing that the timer is going down, and we're just waiting for the ship to explode. Now, this is really awesome. I just love flying out in the open ocean like this, and then seeing other helicopters operating around in the same area. So whoever is responsible for the change where they added the ships in at Enigma's Cold War server, I think it was UH-1 who did that. That's what Ink told me. If so, I mean, my hat's off to him, because this kind of stuff is really fun, and it breaks up the monotony of just typical regular standard troop drops on the front line. So thank you very much to you guys. And just like that, the ship is destroyed. I saw in the chat there that also the oil rig behind us was destroyed, and that's because now, if you haven't kept up with all the changes that happen on the server, the Spec Ops guys can destroy everything that's an infrastructure target or strategic target within 7.5 kilometers of the drop point. And instead of, I think in the past it was 8 minutes, now the timer for them is 3 minutes. And each target gives you, I think, 4 points This is a lot different than the standard troops, which currently will only kill on a 1-for-1 basis, and then you get 0.5 points for each target that's killed. So this is kind of out of the ways, but it does reward you with points, and it's just fun to break this all up, so I really enjoy it. So as we come around here, I want to take a moment to say that we passed 5,000 subscribers, and that's pretty amazing because I think in 2017, the first sub that I got was back in like April of that year, and I didn't have 5 subscribers up until like October of 2017. So to get up to 5,000 with the posting schedule that I have and real world work that takes me away from the computer for months at a time, I do appreciate all you guys that do watch, and it's really fun to chat with you in the comments and when we do premieres and stuff and talk about the HIP and DCS. So thank you guys very much for all that support. So we came in for the pickup around 90 knots, and unlike the HIP, I'm still filling out how much turn I need to put in and pull in the cyclic there to get the helicopter to come out of it in a spot that's really close to the pickup spot. It's not a big deal, you can just kind of hover taxi over to the area that you need to pick up. However, the longer that you're doing that, you got to be mindful of that, all that water vapor that's kicking up, or if you're on land, all that dust that's being kicked up, because the new cloud effects that happen for helicopters is very visible from fighter aircraft and attack aircraft that are flying higher. So we hit feed dry, and it's I think 20 miles off the coast there, so it's 40 going to and from out in the sea, and then the overland portion is about 10 nautical miles each way in and out from the FARP to the coast. So yeah, I think it worked out to be 60 nautical miles round trip. So these runs can take a bit of time to fly, but it's incredibly fun. And if you want to break up the monotony of the regular troop drops, I totally recommend doing this. And maybe do it in a helicopter you don't normally fly, because that's fun too. You know, I used to fly the Huey when I first started on ECW, and I put it away for a real long time, so it's good to be back in it and to try out the new changes that had happened to the aircraft over time that I've missed out on. So this is probably going to be the format for some videos now until we get the track files all working again for multiplayer tracks. I'm confident it's coming because a lot of people make videos that require seeing the use of the multiplayer track, so I'm sure Eagle Dynamics is fixing that, and it's probably a function of that new save feature they're trying to implement. So until then, we'll have videos like this, we'll have more tutorial things, and yeah, thank you all for watching, and thank you guys for all the support reaching 5,000. I really appreciate it. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.